Magic, consistency, and quality. From the Dominican Republic to the USA, let's discover the buzz behind LUSMERLIN. ¿Hablas español? Echa un vistazo a nuestros episodios del The Keyhole podcast en YouTube y Patreon para ver nuestros subtítulos permanentes en español. Hi everyone. Hello.
Hi.
I am back. Okay, I am back with a very, very special episode. This is actually our February feature. Okay, so you guys are going to be seeing this episode this month. Welcome to the Keyhole. I'm your hostess, Zakia, and I have the very lovely LUSMERLIN. Yes?
Yes.
All right. And
hi, Zakia. Thank you for having me.
Hi. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. She's right here, but I'm going to say it like she's not. She's one of the bigger artists that I've had on here, so I'm very grateful. Okay. We are sitting in her very, very lovely exhibit. You guys can see her exhibit at the Howard Community College Horowitz Center. Yes?
Yes.
Horowitz Center. I'm trying to make sure I advertise properly so you guys know. And then the exhibit is now all the way until March
15th.
15th.
Yes.
Until March 15th. So if you guys are in the Maryland area, DC, Maryland, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, if you want to come down from New York, you're more than welcome to. There's parking here, so you don't have to worry about parking your car. Free parking, okay? So you don't have to worry about parking your car. And you guys can see the lovely, lovely exhibit. There are, what's this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 pieces in total. And all of these pieces are for commission. So if there are any pieces that you see that you enjoy, you are free to purchase them. If you would like to commission LUSMERLIN as an artist, if you would like to get her to do any sort of canvas work, mural work, large scale, small scale, she can do it, she does it, and you can get in contact with her. Yes?
Yes, that was a great introduction. Thank you so much.
Yes, oh my gosh. Okay. And then origin story. That's my first question for everybody. But is there anything else that you want to say before we get into the origin story?
I feel very well represented by your introduction.
Thank you.
Yes, and the last day of the show, March 15th, I will be here in person. I call it a closing hangout. It's similar to a reception, but realize I'll be here to meet people and talk as people, desire and come in 2 to 5 p.m.
Gotcha.
So you're welcome also to come and meet me and hang out.
Yes.
And the title of the show is called Big Bang Baby. It is my latest body of work, and it's about divine women, inspired by my personal background in engineering and quantum physics and my personal heritage from the Dominican Republic, which is a blend of African heritage, Native, and Lebanese. So,
yes.
welcome.
Welcome. Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me and hosting me. So, if you guys, and while I'm here, we have a separate video where we showcase all of the artwork pieces that you see, that you see so far, yes? Because you see the beautiful cloud here. We have a video where we showcase all of the pieces. You guys can check that out. It should be in, if this video is up, that video is up. So go check that one out.
No, together. This is a paper sculpture. It's pretty wide. It's a huge piece.
Okay. Paper mache.
It's not exactly paper mache. Mm-hmm. Usually paper mache has like water and glue and sometimes flour or other kinds of additives. This is paper and paint. Oh. So it is hand painted, flat, abstractly, because I'm an abstract artist, and then I shape it into position.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you maintain everything in place? Are there wires?
There is a lot of magic. It's 2 ways. There is a suspension system and there is an inner system. Okay. And a lot of magic.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Yes. It does have an element.
Yes. Okay. All right. So you guys heard it first. And she's a real artist. She's a real artist because she didn't tell me the secret. So she's a real artist. It'll go off and black out. It's fine. It's still
I like that a real artist is defined by not telling their secrets.
Yes. Absolutely.
I kind of agree with this, actually.
Yeah.
You spend many years developing something. You know, before I did this, I tried, I don't know, 4 or 5 different kinds of materials. Sometimes the paint doesn't like the paper. Sometimes the paper doesn't like the paint.
Yes.
And sometimes it doesn't stay in shape.
Yes.
So you actually spend a lot of trial and error.
I know. That's why I said is this paper mache, because the way that it's shaped, it's stuck in place. I know it's stuck in place.
It is stuck in place. Yeah. So you do all this effort, and then you're like, I can't tell you in 30 seconds.
I know.
Took me a year.
I know.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask, for context, how long have you been working on these pieces?
The body of work, this is very interesting. The inspiration of the body and my own body and thinking about my space in the world, it's something that started when I emigrated. You know, I started thinking about what is my place here. People are asking me questions. Where are you from? What's the accent? They're also trying to figure out what I want and what I'm thinking. Yeah. So it made me think a lot about who am I and what is my place and which one's my box and how do I explain it to people who don't even know where the Dominican Republic is, right? You know, they're like, where is that in the map? Yes. And then I tell them, you know Punta Cana? And everybody.
Everybody knows.
Punta Cana is inside the country of the Dominican Republic.
Yes.
Anyway, I had so many experiences like that it made me really think about me and my body, my appearance. So the idea of portraying myself in some way and talking about my stories, the conceptual part has been in the making for 8 or 9 years.
Yes.
And I'm saying this because there's something about how long, you know, you work on a painting, but that doesn't mean that that's the amount of time that you have worked on the work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the work is the thinking, the feeling, the conceptualizing, knowing how to say it, thinking why it's important, figuring out who you're going to say it to, and why you want to say it, and is that what you're choosing? Yeah. And then, in some ways, you also have to have a technical ability to express it.
Yes.
So just because you want to talk about divinity doesn't mean you can paint something that feels divine.
Yes.
So you have to develop the skills, and you have to develop the technique that relates to what you're trying to portray, and then also delivers it to the other person.
Yes.
Sometimes it can look divine to me, but not to you.
Yes, absolutely. Trust me.
And then you put it on a wall, and someone comes in and they're telling you what they're reading.
Yes.
It's very different
than what you put into it. Yeah. Yes.
And that's when you know, not yet. This is not it.
Understood.
And then you keep searching, you know, and you do, and you can be very happy, and it can be amazing.
Yes.
But it's still not what you want.
Yes. Because the audience isn't receiving the message that you're trying to convey.
Correct.
Understood.
So I feel like the array of the techniques, let's say for the body and for the hair in pastel came at one point. The skills and the way of treating paper and discovering that came at another point.
Yes. And
the acrylic abstraction, which is an entire different set of techniques, also came differently.
Yes.
And the pieces themselves are mostly 2025, 2026.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah. The building of the blocks to make it 5 or 6 years.
Okay. Understood. Yeah.
So I always like to separate that because if I say, "Oh, I did this last year," I'll be betraying myself.
Yes, because it didn't just take a year to do everything.
Right.
From start to finish. It extended out past that year of time. Understood. Okay. I'm trying to make sure I'm keeping track of all my questions.
You're good at it. You're very good at keeping track of things.
I hope so. my toes are crossed. You can't see. My toes are crossed. Yeah.
You know, my shoes are open, so if they go on screen,
if your toes are crossed,
mine are.
Her toes are crossed. Okay.
I have some toe skills.
Okay.
Very important. Really changes the path of your life.
It does.
You can cross your toes.
It does. Okay. That's how you know you're a professional.
Yes.
Okay. Don't let anybody tell you different.
This is going to be a checklist of how to be a professional artist.
Yes.
1, Do not divulge your secrets.
Right.
2, learn how to cross your toes.
You can cross your toes.
Follow for more.
Right. You're official then.
You're official.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
I wanted to ask, before I get into your origin story, you have a background in engineering.
Yes.
Which I think is incredible and super smart. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a very world problem solving skill, in my humble opinion.
Thank you.
How does engineering is something that we think of as it's so technical, right? It's technical, and at times it's numbers, and at times it's words, and everything is just by the book, and at times linear. And for you to be a part of something that there's a juxtaposition between you being linear in one world and being abstract in another. How do you manage to cross those things over? How does that intersection work, right? Because I can see the engineering work with this piece in particular, because this is literally engineering. You engineered something to suspend up in the air to help you portray the message behind your art. How do you feel when it comes to the canvas work, where things are flat and two-dimensional? How does that feel different, because engineering, it can be 3D? Does it always translate?
Right. There are multiple levels to this question, which I love. And the first thing I would say is there are many ways to use any tool. And math is a tool.
Yes.
And physics and chemistry, all of these are different tools. Yes. A brush with paint is a tool, or clay is a tool. You can find some artists who really use procedure and process very structuredly and very methodically to get to their final expression. You can also find artists who are very free, intuitive, improvisational, performative, and they don't follow strict guidelines in their process. So if you think about that, some artists are very free and creative, and some of them are a little mathematical.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So that tells you already that creativity doesn't go in a single way, or in a single method.
Yes.
Okay. So if you imagine another tool, and you learn some tools and some rules of math and physics, in some areas, if you're going to do statistics, for example, data and analyzing data is very rule specific and procedural. Some things make sense in the math checks, some don't. But if you work in another field, like my field, manufacturing, you have problems that have never come up or occurred.
Understood.
And when you're solving them, you have to get creative. And then you use the knowledge that you learned, but then you have to improvise. So I was very good at process optimization because of that. Because, all right, so this just failed. We've never seen this failure inside a cement mill. I was in textile manufacturing first, and then I went to cement manufacturing. Cement manufacturing was my strength, which is mining, heavy industry, blue collar, rural.
Really?
Yes, heavy industry.
Are you in the mines? Are you in the field?
I eventually quit, but I did both things.
Wow.
And I am happy to go into that part in a moment. But I remember, we have this thing, cement mill, and just grinding, things into a powder, and the way we know cement, that you use it. But something happens, and you're looking at trends and graphs and charts, and you have to solve a problem, and people are like, we haven't seen this. And I'm looking at them, and I'm imagining I make a picture in my head. I imagine a video of the material moving, and how would I look like? If it happens to this, then it's going to look like that chart. I'm imagining things like a painter. I'm imagining things like a film.
Yes.
In that moment, I am not straightforward just using the chart.
Yes.
And that's an example in which creating new things and fixing problems does not straightly come from the math.
Yes.
comes from the other side. So they're the same thing.
Yes.
They're both creativity
Yes.
with a different tool.
Different approach. Understood.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, absolutely.
I know. I'm like, did I just feel a little bit like Neil deGrasse Tyson?
I know. I was gonna say women in STEM.
Women in STEM.
Women in STEM.
Yes. Yeah, I love women in STEM and in fields. They're usually really good, really strong, really amazing.
Yes.
And what was I going to say about manufacturing? Oh, okay. So I started chemical engineering, and I went into manufacturing. My specialization is large scale. So if we're gonna make a T-shirt, like what you're wearing,
Yes.
and then we have to make 6 dozen million T-shirts a week.
Yes.
And they have to be the same color,
Yes.
the same size, and not have quality problems.
Yes.
But remember, this comes from nature, so there's variation in the yarn. The cotton may have gone through a dry season or a wet season. It doesn't dye the same.
Yes.
The color comes from nature or from a mine. It doesn't dye as strongly as the previous one.
Yes.
So my specialization is making that as quickly and efficiently as possible with the least number of defects to make the most money.
Yes.
So that and changing processes and training and people and procedures and machinery to make that better. And then I went to cement to do that. And then I became a plant manager in Camden, New Jersey.
Wow.
And then I ran a slag cement plant.
Wow.
Very rewarding.
Yes.
And it was slag cement going to bridges, airport runways, and the foundation for skyscrapers in New York City. So high strength, compressive strength projects.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Now I get to play.
I know. I was gonna ask because you talked about the idea of working in engineering and textile and having to be every product needs to match quality control. Do you, because it reminded me of the notion of perfection.
Yes.
And how you have artists that until the thing that they've created is perfected, they won't put it out. Do you feel that sort of connection there where when you're in the textiles, everything has to be perfect? Do you feel the need to be perfect when you make your art?
Yes. Yeah. I think there's a balance there that you do have to have production. So I think of a minimum of quality. Yes. That's the way you think. It's like you can't catch every mistake, but you can probably catch 98% of them. So there are things here that I look at, okay, I have worked months on this. Is this something that only I will notice that there's a problem? Or is this something that nobody else is going to notice? So I think that very often to know if I'm just in a loop of worry and concern that I'm not presenting myself well, or my work doesn't represent me well.
Yes.
And of course I have my parents who, they were very strict and they had very high standards. So underperforming is not an option.
Yeah, like any Caribbean parent, they're not playing games.
They're not playing games.
They're like, you're not going to be the best. You have to try again.
It's like all A's.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Here's dinner.
Yes. Okay. Expectation.
Expectation
versus reward. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Agreed. Okay. Then now we can get into, now that we talked about your parents, we can talk about your origin story.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, we're getting to the question.
Which question?
The origin story. Yes. We were going to start with it.
That's okay.
I'm joking. I love this. I feel like I'm going to try not to get to that question. This is like, how much can we?
Are you? No.
I'm joking.
Because I want people to know more about who you are and how you came to this point. Yes. Because absolutely. Ironically, I'm extremely excited to have you on the podcast because you're the first. I would say foreigner, as a Jamaican would say foreigner, but immigrant, the first immigrant that I've had. And so I feel like, especially since that's who I market to, I feel like Okay? I feel like I feel excited because I want people to, from watching this interview, I want people to understand the reality of what it means to leave your home and come to a place like America and transition into the culture, and how to learn to adjust and find beauty in this country and all the things that are going on, and also realizing that that is a process. It's not a it's not a movie. It's not a I'm gonna go to New York and then I'm gonna be it's not that. It's not that. It takes time to build. Even me, I'm from this country, but my mom isn't. And just growing up experiencing other cultures constantly by way of church or school or anything like that, it's there are times where even now I'm like at 29, I'm like, why are they doing that? Like I'll have a mindset of like, why are y'all doing this, or why is that this, or da 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 da. And I have to remember, like, I grew up in a different circumstance because I grew up with a parent that's not from America. Mm-hmm. So the way that I was raised, the way that I grew up, even within the country, was completely different than the way that my friends grew up, than the way that my schoolmates, my neighbors, everything. So your origin story.
Your mom is from Jamaica, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So coming from Jamaica, probably a few decades ago, there were many Dominicans coming from the Dominican Republic into New York decades ago. Yes. And the reality of being an immigrant back then, and even now, it's very different.
Very different. Very different.
You're coming to a different economy. You're coming to a different political circumstances. Yeah.
Yes. We talk about that.
Yeah. And so it changes, and it's an experience that's going to be different depending on the person, the time you arrive, your general background, the language you come in.
Yes.
If you had a language foundation before or not, it can really make a difference.
Yes, absolutely.
If you come with people who are already settled, or if you come mostly alone, that makes a huge difference.
Yes, it does.
For example, I was lucky that back home, even though I didn't really drive, I had a driver's license because I was worried about what if there's an emergency and somebody needs, somebody needs me and I have to drive a car. I need a driver's license. Yeah. I'll go get one. I barely drove, only in my dad's, pickup truck. It was a manual. So I learned manual.
Okay.
But I didn't need it.
Yeah.
Turns out when I moved here, because I had a driver's license, I could take the tests and the exams and transfer it and start driving right away.
Yes.
However, I met engineers from other countries who in their countries they never needed to drive. So when they came to Maryland, they had to go through a new driver's license.
Yes.
And here's this man with 3 children.
Yes.
Trying to feed a family.
Yes.
Who can't find himself a job to drive himself to.
Yes. Because people don't realize that America is a place where it's a marathon, not a sprint. Mm-hmm. And it's a marathon that you want to start as early as possible. You want to do everything as early as possible. And it's insane.
It's insane.
It's insane. It's insane having to, and I understand your point, because it's almost like when we think of it in America, we're like, oh, get your license at 15. Like you go in, do this, and then by the time you're 18, we don't think about people who are adults, full-grown adults who have to come over. People, even when your education does not match up and you have to come over and redo a degree, God forbid, redo high school, God forbid. The way that the system is, and plus the way that the system is set up, it's not set up for you guys to come over here and achieve and be successful, period. It's just not. And I'm saying that as somebody I'm a substitute teacher. I've been teaching for 3 or 4 years. Started on the West Coast, taught in Los Angeles, DC, Maryland. When I was teaching at a high school in Maryland, I did not realize that my Spanish speaking students, one, I wasn't allowed to translate my lesson plans. So I can't teach my Spanish speaking students in Spanish and then get them to translate things on the back end, right?
Yeah.
So that's already a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, when they come over and immigrate into the country, one, you have to go to school. It's a legal requirement. You're legally required to go to school if you're underage. However, if you are a Spanish speaker, native Spanish speaker, and you come over, regardless of where you come over in the school year, you have one school year to get your English up to the grade level that you are at in order to actually pass. So imagine 13, 14, 15, 16, you have maybe a third grade level of English. You have to be somewhat proficient in English in anywhere from 6 months to 10 months.
Yeah.
Period. Or else by the time the next school year rolls around, you're just failing. Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it sounds really rough for those children.
Yes.
That you're in a new country and culture, and you cannot truly even make friends. You can't talk to them; they don't talk to you, and they're speaking, and you're trying to take it all in, and you will learn. Like eventually, you will learn.
Yes.
But you'll start by many things are failing for you.
Yes.
And it can
be
feel
discouraging.
It
can be discouraging.
What subjects did you teach?
I taught. Ironically, I taught a Spanish 1 class.
That's sweet. You were teaching Spanish and English?
No.
I'm just checking.
You understand?
Sometimes you do that, because I used to teach English as a second language back home to children.
Yeah.
And sometimes in the very first level, when there's no foundation at all, there are things you use Spanish to explain.
Yes.
And then on the next second or third, you just go full English because the basics are there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It was me teaching Spanish. I will say this. I was teaching at an all-girls high school, and I came in later on in the year. So I didn't want to give my kids anything rigorous. So I was giving them a lot of like very basic stuff. Colors, numbers, just simple stuff. But I'm a person where I don't speak Spanish, and I don't want to speak Spanish and teach you how to say something incorrectly. I'd much rather just, I don't want to
do a few things, but do it well.
Yes. I don't want to.
Quality over quantity.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Quality. Hey, third on the list. We're doing how to be an artist.
Yes.
Quality over
quantity. Okay. Secrets. Toes. And
quality over quantity. It's better to have 8 good pieces in the show than 20 that are okay.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. We were talking about art all this time.
Yes.
We were trying to get to this point about art.
Yeah.
It's planned.
Okay.
We know what we're doing.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, talking about my students, it got to the point where they were getting frustrated with me. They're like, Mrs. Kia, you can like say something in Spanish. Like you can say hola. Like, you don't have to, right? See, even then, I'm like, girl, you do not want me to speak Spanish. You don't want to hear my ghetto Spanish.
Let's stick to the colors.
Yes,
and numbers.
Okay, we'll do some family members, some food. Okay, I can't give you full sentences. I can't give you full sentences.
That's it.
I can't give you full sentences, and it's crazy because I can read in Spanish more so than I can like speak and do anything else.
That's normal.
Is it?
It is very normal. Yeah, I have learned multiple languages over time. I don't speak fluently all of them at different times, depending on whether I use them.
Yes,
I could speak it more. So comprehension, both auditive and literary, visual, usually comes first, rather than speaking.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. The native language is actually an exception because we get taught verbally.
Yes.
By usually by the mother.
Yes.
Verbally first before we learn to read.
Yes.
But that's the exception only because it's going along with the development of your brain and your vision.
Yes.
However, for a fully, formed person, not fully formed because you can be a child. let's say like once your vision
Yes.
and your vocals have developed as a child,
Yes.
that is the rule. That understanding comes first.
Understand.
So feel in peace
Okay.
that you're a normal human.
Okay. I was like, how am I reading all this Spanish? And I feel like an expert. And then somebody says something to me and I'm like, one more time?
Yeah, because
Tell
that's
me
what
again?
our brains do.
Okay. Okay. Now I feel better. I feel like I can go out and we're gonna work on my pronunciation and everything like that, but I can go out and figure something out.
And sometimes people say, oh, I can't hear all these things. And you can. The skill that takes time is decoding the sound into the phoneme of the language, which is different from the sound you heard before.
Yes.
So it's normal.
Hey.
Happened to me. Happens to all of us. But the point that you're making is very important if you have the ability to learn English and learn conversations before you immigrate.
Yes.
Then you totally should.
Yes.
Because then you will talk to people, you'll make friends, you'll be able to interview. Yeah. The ability to be confident walking into a work, like a job interview, it's like night and day.
Yes. Yes.
So if you can feel comfortable because your English is okay and you can be a little relaxed and you can have the interview
your attitude
and then
is different. Yes.
that other person says, okay, this person's cool, I understand them, because then they can't evaluate you, right?
Yes.
So they may not hire you, they can't evaluate you.
Yes.
And maybe you can't present yourself because you're nervous. So you want to take away everything that makes you nervous, which means you have to be settled in the language.
Absolutely. No, that's an excellent point. Excellent.
It's key.
Point.
It's
key.
Absolute key.
It's key. And I've seen in the school system where we have kids that their families are coming from anywhere, where English is not the main language. I had one student where they were coming from Africa. They were coming from Zambia. I believe they were coming from Zambia. And there's 5 of them, 5 kids. I believe there's 5 kids. And the eldest daughter, she was about 15, 16. She's doing all of the translating for her mother. And I'm trying to explain to her, because her mom is, America is a very independent place in terms of adulthood. So your adulthood oftentimes is isolated or solitude or independent if you're not in a relationship. That's why relationships are so heavy.
They're a big deal here. Because you don't have a big community, so your relationships compensate for that.
Right.
Back home, you're in a pinch. There's 50 neighbors that can bring you a plate of food.
Okay. Now
you can drop your kid like one day. It's not like they're gonna do it every day for you. No, you're not gonna abuse them. But if the situation, you have something at work and you really need to go, you drop off your kid. Or maybe your family lives in the next corner.
Yes. Yeah.
So
America,
you don't have that here.
You don't have that here. You don't have that here.
So if you're coming, be ready.
Yes. Please be ready. And please be ready. And please, I am begging you and imploring you to learn how to read. Because you are coming, especially as an adult, you're coming over here, you're signing documents, you're putting your name on thing, you're putting your signature on thing. That lady that I was telling you about, her daughter was translating everything. They were 3 months behind rent. If you're 3 months behind on rent in America, they kick you out. No. She didn't know. She didn't know that that's the procedure. She said, well, I signed up for a year's worth of rent. That's my lease. My lease is a year long. I said, no, your lease, the agreement between you and the company and the landlord and the department, housing management, everything. That is a year long. If you don't pay, she said, oh, well, I have a year to pay everything back. No. And there was another dynamic to that situation because the daughter was not properly explaining things to the mom because she did not want to. Because she didn't want the mom to get scared. She didn't want the mom to feel worried. So I'm trying to tell her, you need to tell your mom that, one, because the daughter, she can't go with you on these job interviews. It doesn't matter what it's for. And I can't go with you on a job interview because I was trying to help her find jobs. I'm trying to help her set up an account for Indeed and all these other things. She was under the impression that I would get the job for her and then call her and say, you have the job. That's not how it works.
No. In some other places it works that way, that
yes.
It used to be here like in manufacturing.
Yes,
like if you had like a
job.
recommendation letter, you could go into like the automotive industry in the Midwest and you could go in and you would have a job, right? Many countries used to do that. Some are still doing
that.
So you may come from a country where
that's
a
popular.
Recommendation letter
is
for
popular.
a person
yes.
is a valid way of finding work.
Yes.
So your assumption of how to find work
is
not necessarily accurate for this place.
Okay. Because she's not understanding that I'm telling her like, okay, you put in an application, you wait for a phone call. The people that you apply to, they will call you or
ask you questions to which you have to answer perfectly with a smile. And then you have to go in and you have to know how to present yourself.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
you have to
right?
be aware
right?
of the location and the culture and the job you're going to do in the role. So,
okay.
You can't always.
Yeah.
I used to work with a hard hat. So my hair was pulled or pressed, depending on the day.
Very
so it
funny.
was, I would either wash it and just dry it down so that I could put the hard hat on.
Yes.
Or I would, do a blow dry or something so that I could fit, because it's a safety. It is
safety
a legal
protocol.
matter.
Yes, safety protocol.
Therefore, you can't go into a plant interview with a fro.
Yeah.
They're going to think.
Yes.
They're not going to tell you.
Yes.
But they're going to think this is a safety problem and then we're not going to meet the law. And they won't hire you.
Yeah.
So what do? You show up to the interview with your pressed hair. Or at least pulled down.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be straightened.
Yes.
But you have to know that you're walking in and they're going to look at you.
Yes.
Or you go in closed
Yes.
shoes.
Yes.
You go with sleeves because that's a requirement. You show up the way the culture and the requirements expect.
Yes.
Sometimes the requirements and the cultures are unfair and biased.
Yes.
And sometimes they're legal.
Yes.
It depends on where you're going.
Yes. Absolutely.
And that makes a huge difference.
Absolutely.
So if you had met me in my engineering days, I wouldn't have this.
Yeah.
Primarily because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even that within itself, talking about when you take on a job and you grow within that company or position or industry, the way that as time progresses, you get to change or expand your appearance, or you get to kind of start to customize things a little bit more. I think of it like college professors, yes? So all the adjunct college professors and they're just starting their career and all those things. They're like, they're coming in the suits and they're coming in the tie and this and that and the third. And you have your tenure professor that they'll hop on Zoom and
in
anything,
in
a t-shirt and
cargo pants.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sweats and all kinds of, to have a robe on and a cup of coffee.
They already proved themselves.
So they don't feel the need to fit into that mold of, okay, well, I have to fit the part and I have to look this part and so on and so forth.
And there's something about fitting the part that sometimes people feel like, but it's this, it doesn't matter. Why do I have to wear a shirt? Tell you what. And they're trying to understand whether you can do the job.
Yes.
And the person hiring you, the HR person, that's their job, is to do a good hire.
Yes.
So if they have doubts, or they don't know how to evaluate it, and you don't give them the information, you can't tell them. You don't present it, and there's nothing. They're like, I have nothing to work with. They have to be super sure because their job is on the line.
Yes.
So So there's a lot of that. It is at first you have to make people feel confident that you will be a good hire and you can make them look good.
Yes. Yeah.
And then as time goes by, then you demonstrate yourself.
Yes.
And then after you demonstrate yourself,
You can.
all these things come to you, and then you know what you're saying about showing up to the Zoom call in a t-shirt.
Yeah. You can expand and
like the professor.
Yes. You can play around
whatever.
with things. Yeah.
You can play around, and I think it's the same in the arts.
Yes, it is. Very much so.
It is the same in all professions.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter if you're coming in and you're going into engineering or the sciences or whatever. Nobody's going to believe that you can do it out of their imagination just because you say so.
Yes.
So these pieces that I have right here, they're all monumental. And I am trying to build a museum portfolio. And I'm trying to build a museum for institutions.
Yeah.
Hospitals, lobbies, airports.
Understood. Okay.
So imagine if I walked into someone who manages art at an airport.
Yes.
And I say, hey, I want to put a big piece there. What are they going to say? Can I see what you do?
Yes.
And then you tell them, no, I don't have it, but I will make it. I promise.
They're not going to call
They're not going to call you.
They're not going to call you back.
What do?
Yeah.
You demonstrate it first.
Yes.
So this is here to tell you all that I have monumental pieces.
Okay. And it's no joke.
First class museum grade.
Okay.
Ready already.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's no joke. It's no joke. It's not a game. Okay.
It is no joke.
It's no joke and it's not a game.
But I learned that in the other fields.
Yes.
Professionally, that you have to prove your ability.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I even me with the podcast series, because I get all kinds of opinions from various people. Even when you work in like film and things like that, you have directors, producers, and you have people that would focus more on for instance, a graduate program that I applied to, I had an interview yesterday, and she was telling me that the program, there's a lot of emphasis on lighting, editing, and sound. And so when she was watching my podcast, she was impressed by the sound quality. She was like, the sound is really nice. That's only something that somebody within that realm and field would pay attention to. Yes. Then you have somebody who is outside of art. They'll see it and say, well, I see that you include Spanish subtitles, so you're trying to market and reach a wide variety of people. They'll see that there's something within that. Then I'll have people, I have me personally, where really the structure of the show is meant to emulate and reflect that of an actual show. So the structure meaning consistency, quality, and repetition. Yes.
Number 4.
Consistency, quality, and repetition.
We have quality twice, but quality is good.
Quality is.
But consistency and repetition are amazing.
Yes.
Also for artwork. But please finish your idea, and I'm pick this up in a moment. Yeah.
Talking about consistency and repetition, where the show, it has a definite. There's a theme song of sorts. There's a structure to it, where there's an intro section, there's an outro section. The way that I structure even the outro when I'm providing information on the artists that I interview, people that I interview, the way that I structure the titles for each episode, there's a repetition to that. So that, my focus was on that because my goal for the podcast is to one day move into like producing, executive producing, like running an actual show, showing that I can run a full-blown show, showing that I can maybe do like a live event, panel. Okay.
Yeah, keep going, sorry.
Okay. But that is the purpose behind what I was getting for just having the show period, just making the show period, and having it sit on my portfolio. I say that to say, when it comes to consistency and repetition, do you feel like there is because you've been in America for about 10 years now, do you feel like there has been a consistent and repetitive theme in your art since then, or has it shifted and changed just by being here and just by being in a different place and in a different culture?
I think being in a different place and culture definitely triggered a lot of the topic. And you go to another culture, inevitably you're talking another language, you're making new friends, you're talking to neighbors, the way you do life is different.
Yes.
And all of that influences you, and you will change because of that.
Yes.
And sometimes you realize that you have to make the decision to change in order to be successful, because it's a different culture.
Talk about that.
So, there's so many things I could say.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to make a mental list about, that change.
Yeah.
But let's say if you're going to make friends, it's a little different. If you are in the DR, people are sharing contact, they invite their family and their friends and introduce them right away.
Yes.
Some people here have a different sense of private space.
Yes.
And they may pull away if you go in too quickly because they're not used to it, and that's not how things are done. So suddenly you're changing how you socialize.
Yes.
You're changing how you talk to people. You're sometimes even changing your expressions because we're like, all of this.
Yes.
Some people can be confused by some expressions.
Yes.
Because they don't have the same registry of expressions. A lot of people think that expressions are universal. No, they are not.
No, because there are some things that are culture specific. Like you'll go to a certain place and they'll the way that they'll how do I think about it? How I'm trying to give a more specific example. So even the way that somebody would agree with you. Yes. So let's say agree or disagree with you. So let's say. So my dad, for instance, if he's disagreeing with you, he'll say something like, I don't know about that. My mom would say something like, she might kiss her teeth and say, no. You might have somebody that's Indian from like Bangladesh and those countries, and the way they'll say no, they'll say that. They won't verbalize a no, but they'll have emotion that will reflect that of a no.
And some will tell you, I have to think about it.
Yes.
And you don't get it that they're telling you no.
Yes.
And then you keep going because usually that's what you do. And suddenly, I would say Dominicans tend to come across as a lot more aggressive.
Aggressive how? Because aggressive is a particular word, so we have to be careful when we say aggressive.
They come across as. That's why I'm saying they come across as. But there's nothing for us that it's good. Let's say if I am puzzled, like sometimes, if I go like, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you would do this.
Yes.
And if you're talking to the Dominicans, they will interpret your face as
she's
confused or puzzled or inquiring or shocked.
Yes. In
Some
America,
people,
they might see it as you're mean or you're
confrontational.
Yes.
So that is interpreted as a type of aggression.
Yes.
Because you're looked to. In your culture, that face usually comes from someone who's ready to confront you.
Yes.
In the DR, that's anybody being confused.
Yes. Emotional expression. And we could, that's a whole other topic, talking about how in America, emotions, we don't express emotion well, period.
Yeah. Because there's a belief that we are taught that expressions are universal and that everybody can interpret each other. We cannot interpret each other. You cannot interpret someone from another culture, from another background, even if it's American, all the different subcultures, locations, demographics. So, you have to, what you're saying about this trope of what do you mean by aggressive, all that is also another type of bias that comes from accent, from sound, from volume, and from expressions.
Exactly. Because when you say aggressive, I'm thinking about the people who are unfamiliar with any sort of Hispanic or Latino culture that don't understand the vibrancy that is present, and that vibrancy it's not specific to a party or some type of major event. It's a way of life. It's a full, complete way of life. Versus in America, people focus on standardizing things and fitting into the median or the centralized vision of, okay, this is how you express, this is how you showcase this is how you portray emotions, and that can go into color, ethnicity, nationality, sex, sexual orientation, everything. It's like in other places, I feel like you guys are more comfortable with there being certain intersections of things.
Yeah, it's
there's no.
We're more comfortable with chaos.
Yeah,
we're more comfortable with things going off the rails.
Yes,
and we're also a lot more comfortable with saying I don't think so or making a face. What you said about your Jamaican, if your Jamaican mom goes to some subcultures here and she said no, they're gonna feel like that's rude. She's rude. If you go to the DR, anybody that wants to say I don't believe that, I think they're lying, they'll be like. And they'll turn around. Yes. And that only means, I think that's BS. Right. But if you do the same gesture here, that's rude and probably comfortable. They feel like because it's a different cultural norm.
Yes, absolutely. I have a question for you. When you came to America, was that the first time that you felt like you were Dominican?
I love that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because sometimes you're in a place and you're engrossed in the culture and you're just like, oh, like this is where I'm from. This is how things are. But when you come to America, America can put a pin and a spotlight on it, and it's like, no, you're that.
Yeah. It happens a lot. Yeah, because you're trying to relate to others and you're trying to find commonalities, and then while trying to relate to the other person, you realize something new about yourself that was very common. And it happens with immigrants in many other places, especially if the culture is very different. When, going back to this idea, like I actually had a conversation of coming across as aggressive with a friend of mine who's Dominican, who was working with Colombian people. And Colombian people have different regionalities. Like the affect and the speaking of someone from a city or someone from the countryside is very different. Yes. So he told me when I started talking to them, I had to modulate some of my gestures with some of the people I was working, even from Colombia. Yeah. And he told me, LUSMERLIN, you wouldn't realize that our gestures, they don't understand them the same way. So I actually, after moving here and encountering that people were reading me very differently from how I am. And I'm talking to him who's working with Colombians. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I may have to change my gestures. Yeah. And I changed them, let's say, in a work setting. I neutralize my reactions a little more. Okay. So, if I am puzzled by something, I express it more verbally. Yes. And I may not do this. I may be like, can you tell me more about it? And I'm puzzled because I'm trying to communicate puzzlement. Yes. And that means I change. Yes. And I make the decision to change. Yes. So that was an example of the questions that we were talking about. Yes. About like you end up choosing. Yeah. Some things I'm going to hang on to and some things I'm going to have to let go. Yes. So you change many little things about you. Yes. And when you're exploring your own background, like this exploration of my background is a way for me to hang on to my heritage and my culture, knowing that there's so much about me that no longer feels like the DR is 100% home. It does not feel that way. No, I have changed enough that I don't know that I can like fully fit in either place anymore. Wow. But I also, because I realize this feeling, I know that I really have to hang on to who am I? What are my family stories? Yeah. What are the things that made me me? Yeah. What did I learn from my mom, from my grandpa, from my dad, from the stories that I heard in my family? Yeah. And this is very important. And I have to make the decision not to lose it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So a lot of the work is researching myself. Yes. And preserving that part of the self before it dilutes. I no longer watch a baseball game. Now I watch American football. Now I'm an Eagles fan. Please don't kill me.
Oh, I'm not a sport. Listen,
Okay, great.
I'm neutral with sports.
Okay, because I worked out of Camden and I lived in Philly, and that's like Eagles land. Okay, so
they're personal. They take it.
Please don't jump off the video right now.
Okay, it's fine.
Please
Relax.
understand me. That's where I worked.
It's fine. Okay.
So, and if you think about it, you're interacting. Your way of having fun is different.
Yes.
Because people don't socialize the same. So now you have new entertainment.
Yes.
And you learn another language, and each language has humor.
Yes.
So your jokes change.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
And sometimes my sister makes a joke and I don't find it funny.
Yes.
My best friend from high school moved to Taiwan and has a Taiwanese wife.
Wow.
And I don't know that we can. Like, I think he's trying to make jokes, and I'm like,
it's not
I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's how much it really changes your perception of the world. So you really have to know that you will change, and it will inevitably happen.
Yeah.
It will create a gap with the people you left somewhere else because you change. They're not changing. They're in the same context.
Yes.
They will not understand you anymore.
Yes.
You could try to explain it.
Yes.
They won't understand.
Yes. Absolutely.
And it's quite a journey.
Yeah.
It can be very confusing. It can be a big existential crisis.
Yeah.
But I have to say that I love my life.
Yeah.
I would do it again.
Yes.
I will come to the United States again.
Yes.
I have friends, family, love, relationships of all sorts.
Yeah.
And I'm still very happy. This is not to make it sound like, oh my
No,
God,
no,
it's
no.
terrible.
Yes.
I love the people. A lot of people look at you. You're here.
Hey.
And like, I have found a lot of people that hang out, come.
Yeah.
I had a full reception on like
Yes.
one of the coldest days. It was like a full crowd.
Yes, it was.
People actually show up.
Yes.
They've supported me. I cannot even begin to say amazing things about the neighborhood. I had friends who came to install. I have friends who helped me, paint some things, paint edges, things.
Yes.
I have a friend who helps me build. Like, I cut the wood and I make the panels, and all of this is made like from scratch. Like these supports are not. Like,
Yes.
So I'll be at Home Depot buying birch
Yes.
and buying poplar and cutting them in my saw.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have an electric saw.
I have two.
Woo!
I have a table saw for the big cuts, and then I have a choke saw.
Yeah.
And then you make the panels, and then you cut the edges, and there's a lot to it to making a beautiful square.
Yes.
There's a lot to it.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, like, I have people who help me out of love.
Yes.
I have people who support me out of love.
Yes.
And even though it's been a great transformation, I have a community.
Yeah.
And I have amazing people who, open doors for me.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful. This whole show also, was, from networking years ago and being in a community volunteering. I was in the board for the Frederick Arts Council, which is volunteer work. I was there because I was a young artist. They needed the voice of people who are usually not included.
Yes.
Traditionally.
Yes.
And they reached out to me and said, we need to find a way to reach people to come for their resources. Yeah. Because historically, they have not felt welcomed. So will you come here and
help us
weigh in?
Yeah.
So that, we can actually include people.
Yes.
And that led me to meeting people and being in the community and volunteering. And a person that I met and I worked with and I lost touch for years eventually became the gallery director here and reached out to me.
Yes.
He had been looking at my work as a curator, and this is something that's been happening as I post and my work is growing and the quality has improved. Yes. People have started reaching to me.
Yes. As they should. As they should.
But to say that there is a lot of generosity in people, and there is a lot of beauty and love.
Yes.
And there is a difference between the system and the people.
Absolutely.
There's a huge system between policies and politics.
Yes.
And people. I mean,
yes.
It reflects some people, but
not
I
all.
think
not all.
The bulk of the normal people,
yes,
they're amazing.
Yes. Agreed.
They're amazing.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that Have you ever studied Sankofa, the concept of Sankofa?
No.
Sankofa comes from, please correct me if I'm wrong, it's comes from Ghana. Yes? So Sankofa is the concept of taking steps backwards so you can move forward properly, right?
Yeah.
So because you hit the nail on the head when you talked about growing and how that growth can put you in a position where, 2 years ago you might have been friends with somebody and you guys connected, and then something might happen and there might be a shift. And 2 years later, it's like, it's like night and day. And it reminds me of those moments where I think about people that I went to high school with, people that I even went to like college with, and just how different the paths can go. There are people that I went to high school with that they're like whoosh, they're in a completely different life, in a completely different space, everything. And there was a point in time where we could connect, but now that things have progressed and you've gone in this direction, I've gone in this, it's difficult to find that intersection. I'm speaking for myself. Sometimes that gives me a feeling of like, I don't want to say lost. I don't want to say I feel lost, but feeling like,
Can I put a word in there?
Yes.
Grief.
Yes. What makes you use grief specifically?
Well, I know grief.
Yes.
And grief is the general sense of loss.
Mm-hmm.
And I've lost my father, for example. That is something we think about when we think of grief.
Yes.
We probably think of what? Divorces.
Yes.
But anything where you have something you cherish,
mm-hmm.
and then you don't have it anymore, and you have that longing and that loss, your process is a process of grief. Absolutely. Normalize grieving your friendships that are gone.
Yeah. Yes.
We totally should.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a beautiful. Sometimes we don't think about the complexity of friendship. Like these people can be extremely close. They're there in your formative times.
Yeah.
They're with you good or bad, and you're doing all the drama, especially in high school. It's a disorienting time. You're very vulnerable with these people, and then you grow, and you had all these important moments, and they are no longer with you in the important moments.
Yes.
That's loss.
Yes. Yes.
So you're experiencing grief.
Yes. Okay. Enough grief. Enough grief. Enough grief. Especially now that I'm getting older, and even like just having personal goals. Yes, personal goals, professional goals, and how those goals, even in the moment, can sway things for you in real time or in a shorter amount of time. Yes. So
you mean like for your life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you have a goal and then you make different decisions.
Yes, of course.
And then that changes your relationships.
Yes.
You don't see people as much. You don't meet them.
Yeah. You throw the rock in the pond, and then the ripples touch everything. The ripples extend out to the edge of the pond, even if it's small.
It's a weekend. You have to film a podcast. You're gonna hang out with your friends.
No. Oh my God. Oh please. Yeah. Okay. This is me hanging out. I'm
hanging out with a friend.
Yes. This is it. Like this is. But that's just me because I just enjoy the craft. I just like what I do.
Yeah, but I think decisions, even projects, when you have a project, and it's a big exhibition, it's a little bit of a sprint. It's not a marathon. There are things that need to happen at a certain time. Yes. You can't do them too early. It doesn't make you're not gonna market it 6 months before, right? So that means that it automatically sets a pace for how much work you're going to do, and that's going to affect your life. Yes. The last few months have been an absolute whirlwind.
Really?
Yeah, because you do the pieces, you're doing everything. You have to install it. You have to do marketing. There's a lot of logistics. You have to transport.
Yes.
So even if everything else in your life is set, it's more work than normal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Then you have all of the administrative work in the background.
Yes. Paperwork. Hey. And then I wanted you to talk about your origin story, and I wanted you to talk about being in the Dominican Republic and growing up in DR, and what was that like, and how, because it's very potent in your pieces.
Yes.
It's very potent and it's very active in your pieces. Were you creating art when you were back home? Did you consider yourself an artist when you were back home? Or was that something that came about once you left? Was there ever a curiosity? Did you ever think while you were in DR that you would get to this point where you now have an exhibit, a full-blown exhibit, and you have to claim it, yeah.
Yes.
You have a full-blown exhibit, and this is an opportunity that can take you everywhere. Yes.
Yes.
How were things when you were younger, growing up? When you were teenager or preteen?
I definitely did not think that I was going to be doing this. Yeah. And there are many influences. So I am from the north part of Santo Domingo, which is called Villa Mella. There's something interesting. When I was a kid, it was a very green space, and there were a lot of people. Right now, it's massive. It's crowded. It's a lot of people. Yeah, and the Villa Mella that existed when I was a child is no longer there. Yeah, so there's a big transformation over time, and my father's side of the family is from the north of the country, and they're actually mixed with Lebanese. So my great-grandfather was Lebanese.
Okay.
And I think that's something interesting that introduces my desire for the fantastical.
Okay, yes.
Because, he came from this unknown land, and this other side, and this Arabic. It's things like what you read in the books, and Aladdin,
Lawrence of Arabia.
And he didn't really speak Spanish. He moved in, he got married, because he was basically an asylee. So when the Ottoman Empire fell, the Ottoman Empire was huge, right?
Yes.
And what happened was there was Christian persecution, and a lot of people from Syria, Lebanon, and Palestine came into the Americas. So there is a big population that is Arab descent in Latin America from the 1900s. So I would say
I did not know that at all.
Yeah, absolutely. So he came there. He didn't really speak Spanish. He was kind of a merchant, and he had cattle and so forth. And DR, they just call him the Arab. That was his name.
We know about the Caribbean. They call you what you are.
Yeah. So he was just the Arab.
Yes.
And then my grandma, she did meet him when she was young, and then he passed a little early too. And that is like what this one influence is. You're like, wow, there's something in my past. There's this fantastical story from across the world.
Yes. Yes.
And that part of the family is very musical.
Oh, okay.
And we would meet for Christmas, for example, to play guitar and sing. Usually Mexican folk songs and some Spanish guitar. Like that's what my uncle and my dad liked to play. Yeah. So that is like a core memory. Go and play music and sing with your family at Christmas. That was one of the traditions. And there's a lot of music. I think there's a lot of musicality in my work. There's a lot of rhythm in how I work color. You can follow, it's almost like its own song. Yes. Music and singing with them has always been there. I think that's one artistic influence. Yes. The other artistic influence is reading. So my grandpa had a huge library, and my dad inherited all that, and I always had a book in my house. And, books are cheaper. Yes. So that was the art form I had access to. Yes. And when I was about 14, 15, I got into literature. So the first very developed art form I had back home was writing. It's free. You don't have to go anywhere. Yes. And I wrote short stories and poems. I got into something that it's like an atelier, like a group, like a crit group.
Yeah.
But it was through the Ministry of Culture. So I was like a founding member of what is now like the biggest and most known group in the Dominican Republic, and we published books. I got some, literary prizes. I have like short stories in 7 books.
Yeah. Are they all in Spanish?
And they're all in Spanish.
Okay,
so that's what I was doing from 14 through when I moved here.
Wow.
And I worked in that area, putting together. There's something we called La Feria del Libro, which is the international book fair, and we would get 300,000 people in 2 weeks. Big crowds, and I would do master of ceremonies and host people who were releasing books or doing panels or talking, which is why I'm kind of comfortable talking, because there was a lot of that.
Yes.
And I even had like the cardinal, the whole country cardinal come to talk, so I had to learn that ceremonial thing.
Yes.
I had Supreme Court justices in my room, talking about political things.
Yes.
It was formative.
Yes.
I was 17, 18. So all of that was really, really important for me to shape thought and shape speech. Thankfully, I can do it in English too. It doesn't mean because you can talk in Spanish that you can go in front of a room in English. So I started studying English when I was 12.
Okay. Personally.
Gotcha. My parents sent me to school since I was 12. Every Saturday from 9 to 12, I took English classes for 4 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I had to get up on Saturdays at 7 a.m., get
Yes.
dressed, eat, take a bus at 8 o'clock because it takes an hour to go across town. Take a bus at 8, do my class at 9, and then I'll be home again at 1.
Yeah.
So I did that for 4 years.
Okay.
So I've been working on these skills for a long time.
Yes.
Thank you, parents,
Yes.
for making me do that.
Yes.
And where was I going? So literature, then I developed literature. I like to draw, but I don't think I ever felt that there was a path. There were not a lot of classes. I took like 1 workshop. There wasn't a lot of education. I never really went to the museums.
Yeah.
So it was really almost nothing in the visual arts my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 15, I did get to go to Spain. My aunt, who lives there, and she's a citizen there, she took me on a special trip. And all I did for 1 month was go to museums. And I was a 15-year-old. I could be doing anything. All I wanted to do was go to museums. It was incredible. I saw Picasso, I went to the Prado, I went to Reina Sofia, I saw Gordon Matta Clark, and I was like, wow, what is this man doing? I don't understand it, but I love it.
Yeah.
And I think that was very influential.
Yeah.
However, I didn't develop it until I came here.
Gotcha.
I had time in my hands waiting for my paperwork to be finalized, my immigration, so that I could work.
Yes.
And I grabbed a watercolor set. And that's how it started. So I was like, oh, that's nice, but I want more color. I want more color. I need acrylic, so I tried acrylic. I'm like, this is nice color, but I don't like how it looks. I think this is a drawing problem. I need to, practice drawing. So then I went to the library and I started getting drawing books and following the drawing books, and eventually I learned how to draw. So my art journey has only happened after immigrating.
Wow. How did you transition from writing to engineering?
Oh, I was doing it at the same time. So I'm very intense.
Okay.
And I would say, ever since I have a memory, I've been very productive. Even my dad, I was working with my dad when I was 12. I would help him with like budgets and go to work sites with him. So he was like, he was good at that professional education. And then in high school, even though I liked reading and writing, I did not see it as a career because nobody can actually do it or get paid for any of the arts, really. But I knew I was very good at math and physics. In fact, what I wanted to study was physics. But most people in physics only teach. Research is not huge.
Yes.
So I did not see a path.
Yes.
And I decided to go into engineering, which had both a market and had the sciences.
Yes.
And it turns out chemical engineering has sometimes a lot more physics than chemistry, actually. Yeah. It's wild because it's called chemical, but you can also make it more chemical if you choose to.
Understood.
And Physics is really my passion. When I talk about, I'm thinking about the concepts of physics and space and how they relate to the origin stories and ancestry. It's because like I wanted to be a physicist. I would have loved to work on studying the stars. That was not an option. Yeah, you couldn't really do all of it. And I studied a lot of physics on my own. I went to the physics Olympics. I was like third place in my national physics Olympic. What? I went to like the Ibero-American Physics Olympic to represent DR. I was so anxious though. I could not cope the emotions of the Ibero-Americans. So that was a big lesson for me. And I cried a lot. Oh. And I didn't have preparation for it, emotional preparation for it. Nobody helped me. Yeah. They just sent me there, actually. They didn't train me, they didn't help me, nothing. They just said, go. Yeah. And I had a great experience and I represented my country. And where was I trying to go? That I explored many things in art forms. And that was one of your questions. And I talked about, okay, the other side of my heritage that's very strong. You always the other part is like native. Most natives, they didn't survive colonization. We're mixed in. So the way a lot of Dominicans, the way we see it, it's like we are mixed in. Mm-hmm. We actually kind of define ourselves as our own thing. Yes. The book has like 3 faces: a black face, a native face, and a white face. And then the book tells you all, Spanish people came here. Mm-hmm. They found the natives. This is how the natives lived. Then they brought slaves from Africa. Mm-hmm. They slaved everybody. The natives barely made it. Yeah. Then the Africans, many of them survived. They got mixed in, and that made Dominicans. So we go around the world saying Dominicans are abundant 3 times. Yes. Right. Yes. And so we cherish the native stories a lot. Mm. And I would say we even grieve history, the way we learn it. Yeah. Like, we don't go like ignoring that it's like we learned that they got exterminated. Yes. And we grieve that, and we hang on to the food, the cultures, the things that we still have, the words that we have, native words. Yes, we have things that we learn like yucca and all of that, and we really cherish that. Yeah. And then the other side, very strong in my life. It is not like, it's like last but not least. It's very, very important. It's major. Hello. Right. Hello. Right. My town has one of the most preserved African traditions in the entire country. Okay. Yes. It's actually a UNESCO heritage cultural preservation. Okay. So if you go there, you will have, Congo music. Yeah. You would have the religion. You were asking me before this about Santeria. Yes. Santeria is a word that, is okay to use. Mm-hmm. For me, that was just it, Yeah. And my grandma, she lived next to me, and she had a saint room, and it was painted blue. Mm-hmm. And she had many, many saints all around and an altar. And every week she did services. Yeah. And she changed the color of the tablecloth depending on the saint. They each had a color. Yes. The candle can change. Yes. Then they like different things. Yes. So food and different food. And so Maitre Sile, she is love and soft and beauty. Yeah. She likes jewelry, flowers, and so forth. You're not gonna give her coffee. Yes. She's soft. So that was present all the time, every day, because that's how I grew up. And I didn't think, this is Santeria. I simply believe that this is it. Yes. Every year we have something called Las Patronales. So it's our town. It's almost like you have a homecoming queen and king. Yes. But then there's also a parade, and we're all wearing white, and there are drums, spiritual songs are being sung and played, and you parade around town. And I lived in the town by the church, so they go around the block right across my house, go to the park across the church, enter, then you do mass, then you come out, then you keep playing. Gotcha. So you go there, and then you dance. So it's also like a communal dance. So my mom will be like, this is your culture, go dance. Yes. So as a kid, I'm not thinking about it as
the technicality
or the history or ancestry.
Anthropology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I can get up
Yes.
and dance here 4 different traditional styles.
Yes.
That nobody really taught me history about.
Yes.
This is just what you went and did.
Yes.
And it's very precious to me to see how it's just so special. I didn't realize it until after coming here.
Yeah. It brings me back to asking, did you feel Dominican when you got here? You really feeling like, because when you're living an experience is different versus somebody looking from the outside and being like, oh, you're doing this and that and the third. And you're like, am I? Like, I thought I was just kind of like chilling or blah, blah, blah. Do you? Yeah. I trust me, I get that. I get that all the time. Because even me having locks, people are like, oh, you're Jamaican, so you have locks.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
There's never there's never an understanding of certain things not intersecting. Yes. I have locks because I just, this is my form. This is it. This is me. It's not even necessarily like a cultural representation per se, even though it is, because I'm a Black woman and I'm wearing my natural hair. Did you ever go through that phase of feeling like you needed to defend your culture? Yes?
I want to say, I love your locks.
Oh, thank you.
And I have to say that there is something about how people learn about things that then it just kind of becomes a stereotype. Because I think globally, people are thinking reggae and Bob Marley.
Rasta,
okay.
and
Let's say most of the people never hear about Jamaica. But then there's this amazing, incredible Bob Marley.
Yeah.
That then goes so big that becomes what everybody knows about Jamaica.
Yes. Yes.
So because you have locks, it must be because you're Jamaican.
Right.
Why? Because my version of Jamaica came from learning about Bob Marley.
Exactly. And it's funny because when Bob Marley came out in Jamaica, nobody liked him because Jamaica, because Jamaica is a Christian country.
Oh,
yes?
Yeah.
So Rastafarians are ostracized.
Oh.
So when I locked my hair, my mom flipped.
I had no idea.
She flipped out. She said, "Liar, Rasta! Oh God, oh God!" It was a very big thing. It was a very big thing and a very big problem. Jamaica is a Christian country. They don't believe in. See now
you're breaking my brain.
Exactly. So Bob Marley.
When did you lock your hair? How old were you?
I was 20. I was about 20, 21. That was. I've been locked 6, 7 and a half, 8 years, something like that. Long time.
Oh, this is crazy because even though, I come from this tradition, my mom cherished tradition.
Yeah.
Hair-wise, the DR historically was really into straight hair, so that was the norm.
Yes.
So that same person, she told me, like, what are you doing when I did the big chop? Which nobody had.
Yes.
Natural hair because it was supposedly not professional, not beautiful, not well presented. And I'm like, this makes no sense. Mm-hmm. My dad was like, you go.
Yeah.
You cut your hair, that's who you are. So I was, I think 17. I cut it off. I went to my dad's barber. And he's like, are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm like, Danilo?
Yeah.
Cut it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
My mom was like, oh, what are you doing? You don't look good. This is crazy. You look like a boy. I mean,
you know what's so funny? Before I had locks, I had my loose natural hair, an afro, and I went to a Dominican salon. Mm-hmm. And what they'll do is for my coily haired friends, they'll put perm in the stuff. Mm-hmm. My hair burned off.
No.
I'll never forget standing in the shower and I'm pulling pieces of my hair off and it's gummy. And
that's so unfortunate.
Right? But just like you, knew, and I shaved off everything and cut all my hair off and started. This is the second time I had locks. But I started my locks.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I wouldn't be here if
You know,
if it didn't happen, you know.
You do have to know how to find a good salon lady. I had a salon lady who would blow dry my hair, and I could still have my curls even.
See?
But she would, for example, like she would not go no flat iron.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
She would always do rollers.
Yes.
Which, you stretching the hair.
Yes. Yes.
But not overheat it.
Yes.
And then when she would do blow dry, it was very quick.
Mm-hmm.
She would go a few passes, and you would not have like the super shiny, sleek, extra pressed hair. Yes. But it was straight and it was nice.
Yes.
And I loved her, and my hair and my natural hair was in good shape for a long time. She never messed up my hair.
Yeah.
But I have, come across some people that I'm like, I have to stop. I don't like what you're doing. Mm-hmm. You're doing too many passes. Yeah. And they really don't want to do it. And then I have to tell them, I want you to do 2 passes maximum. Yeah. And I don't care how it looks.
Right.
I will pay you.
Right. Right.
But this is too much and I don't want it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, it's very tense because they feel like, but I can't do a good job because they're thinking of having this sleek thing. I'm like, but I don't want you to ruin my hair. Right. I know.
Absolutely.
But I am very surprised, shocked at the complexity of our cultures. I actually didn't know that. Yeah. About the Jamaican hair culture. That some people thought that was not Christian.
Yes. I've been thinking it's not Christian, thinking that Rastafarians are even like dirty or unkempt, or it's a lot of ostracizing, and you have to think that Jamaica, culturally speaking, it's very set and it's very traditional, right? Mm-hmm. So Rastafarians, they're very non-traditional. Yes, in terms of they are a people that live in proximity to nature. Mm-hmm. They are they're people who follow a different version of Christianity. Mm-hmm. Yes, that if you're not familiar with it and you don't understand, it can scare you because you're thinking, oh well, they're worshiping some other entity, or they're worshiping some other person, or this and that and the third. When really you can think of Haile Selassie as somebody who almost, I'm not saying for sure and I'm not saying definitely, but almost can sit in a comparative way to like the Prophet Muhammad for all of my Islamic friends. The way that, and it's sad to say because Bob Marley, in a sense, like you said, he popularized Jamaica, popularized Jamaican culture, and now he is the representative, yes? And I remember growing up and seeing like the anger from Jamaicans when somebody who was not from Jamaica or somebody who was not familiar with Jamaica would say, oh, Bob Marley, this and that and the third, and yes, and people getting defensive and people getting angry and upset and saying, I don't do this, I don't do that because, right? Because they're traditional, so they're trying to fit into that traditional mold that can even get them into a place like America.
It sounds like Jamaica is a lot more than the DR than I thought it was.
It's the Caribbean, Mama. It's the Caribbean.
Yeah,
we're all Caribbean.
I'm learning so much.
Yes, we're all Caribbean. True. What? We're all Caribbean. We're all Caribbean.
What a ride life is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh wait. Now that we're at this point, I can check. I can do a check on time. Okay. Oh wow. 80 minutes. That's almost an hour and a half. That's perfect. Yeah. That's good stuff.
Did I finish answering the African part? It's like there's so many parts.
Yes. Okay. And it is gonna die soon because it's on 13%. Okay. Yes. I'm trying to think. You were talking about art, right? And starting out in writing. And starting out in writing and then coming to America and transitioning into physical art, physical mediums, more physical mediums. You said that you didn't know that you would get to this point. You didn't think that this point would come. Cliche question is, how do you feel your 15-year-old self, your 25-year-old self, how would those two people feel seeing you now, seeing you here today, seeing how things have unfolded and how everything has kind of blossomed and expanded into something that you can even say is like bigger than you, yeah?
Yeah. I love a good cliche question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're very sweet. And sometimes they also ask me, what would you tell your 15-year-old?
Yeah.
Like, that is really fun to think about. In both directions, I look back to my 15-year-old and I'm like super proud. I felt that at that age, I made the decision to be great and to be excellent.
Yeah.
And I wanted to travel. I made a decision to be a great student, and I knew that I was going to succeed.
Yeah.
And I made decisions to be in communities, to create things that didn't exist. I never got, sometimes I got paid for some of the work, but sometimes I did it just because I felt that for the community was greater than that. And I didn't know that I was building so many skills. I was building an entire curriculum.
Yeah.
I was building an entire reputation out of
Yes.
things that I just wanted to do.
Yes.
And I am very proud in the back that I had the inspiration and the drive to do those things.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, little self, you're amazing.
Yeah.
And I think if little self goes and looks at the future, it's going to be so proud and be like, I know.
Yeah.
You're awesome, and feel very inspired. I couldn't predict that this is what I would be doing, because I've always been thinking about the step ahead, little things. Okay, and then I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that. And I start thinking about the future. It's like, oh, I know I want to travel. It's very hard to get a visa.
Yes.
It is very hard. My family didn't really have money. So the first time I went to a consulate, they almost denied my visa.
Understood, yes.
And I remember I was going to a model United Nations, and you have to prove that you have money and you have ties to the country so that you come back and don't stay, right? Yes. I remember the consul, when I'm 15, the consul saying, but you don't have anything. I was like, oh. And my dad very calmly said, but look at her grades, she's a great student. And that consul gave me a chance and said, okay, you know what, go. It was a group of 10, and I was the best student. And that also told me, oh, so it turns out that because my parents are poor, I don't get to do any of that. And I came to New York and I saw the buildings and like, I want this. Yeah. So I decided, I said, my good grades gave me this. Yes. I'm gonna do it more.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I mean, it happened. But I had that long-term vision. I didn't really know exactly how, but I knew that I was putting like little steps towards it. Yeah. So I think if she were to see this now, she would be extremely proud, because she had an idea. Yes. Of, you want to do things in this crazy other place that is so mind-blowing. Yes. And you want to take yourself there. Yes. So I think she'll be very, very happy. Oh. Very happy. And I'm very proud of her, too.
And my last question for you, do you feel like that 15-year-old version of yourself is an artist?
Yeah. 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 I mean, she was always doing artistic, creative things. Yeah. She didn't necessarily have the access. Yeah. Going, because I didn't live in town, so there was nothing outside. You always have to travel. And then I had 2 working parents. There's no way. They don't have the money. They don't have the time to take me consistently to anything. So I chose the art forms that I could afford and were close to me. Yes. And I love I love literature. But that is art.
Yes.
I've always been an artist.
Yes.
I think it was just waiting for the circumstances for that to flourish. Space, the market, the access. You can go and buy so much paint. If you have a job, you can afford the paint.
Mm-hmm.
So, the change of economy certainly was a big part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And on that note, I think we can close it out on that note.
All right.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, for your thoughtful questions.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank
you.
For
the things you've taught me.
Okay. My one little 1-2s. Okay. I try my best.
Oh, you're awesome.
Oh my gosh.
I had a grand time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm excited for everybody to see this. Make sure you guys check it out. Make sure you guys check out the art exhibit. Make sure you guys stop by, okay? It ends on March 15th, okay? You guys can come and check out all of her pieces. And if you would like to purchase any pieces, you guys can contact her through her website.
Yes.
www.lusmerlin.com.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh
You're
my gosh.
Yeah.
Bye, guys. Bye. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the Keyhole podcast with me, Zakia, and my very special guest of the day. I am so honored to have her here as my February feature. It is the fantastic, the artistic, the lovely, and the knowledgeable LUSMERLIN, okay? You guys can actually follow her across social media platforms, Instagram and YouTube. We're gonna have this video set as a collab, so you guys can already go ahead and click on her channel and see all of her videos. LUSMERLIN, her Instagram tag is at LUSMERLIN, literally. Okay, so you can't miss her. That is at LUSMERLIN, LUSMERLIN. Okay, you guys can actually check out the Big Bang Baby exhibit by LUSMERLIN. It is being held from now until March 15th. Okay, so you guys have a little bit of time. The location, let me make sure I'm giving you guys the right details now. Hold on. Make sure you write it down. The location, okay, is the Rouse Company Foundation Gallery on the Howard Community College campus, located in the Horowitz Center in Columbia, Maryland. So if you guys check out Howard Community College, come to the Horowitz Center. As you enter the building, it is going to be up towards your right-hand side, up as you, once you get up onto those steps and go onto the platform for entrance. It is a fantastic gallery. It is a fantastic exhibit, and I had the honor and the privilege of being able to showcase the exhibit in a video that is exclusive to this channel. Thank you so much, and I am so honored to be able to show you guys, okay? So make sure you guys check her out, Howard Community College, Horowitz Center, at 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., okay? 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., so you don't miss her, okay? She also has, if you guys catch this in time and you're in the DMV area in time, she has an artist talk on February 19th from 5 to 6, and you guys can have a Meet the Artist closing extravaganza, I will say, right? That's going to happen on March 15th from 2 to 5 p.m., okay? And before I go, okay, because this is so long, I already know, the question of the day is, okay, we're talking to LUSMERLIN. She's talking to me about coming from the Dominican Republic. She is talking to me about this exhibit being a symbol, if you will, of her bringing things from her home here to her new home in America. My question for you guys is, what's one thing from your home that you always carry with you? I know, that's a sweet and sentimental question, but I know you guys got it. Once you wipe your tears, you'll be able to answer me, okay? What's one thing from your home that you always carry with you? And yeah, I am so honored and privileged to be able to have LUSMERLIN. It is, oh my gosh, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast. And if you made it this far and you are a lovely, lovely Dominicana, right? Dominicano, put the flag in the comment section, okay? I want to see the Dominican flag. All my Dominicans, make sure you're repping for LUSMERLIN, all right? Put the flag in the comments. Thanks, guys. Bye.